Welcome everybody to our next Q&A for today. We have 5 of them today. We are here with Nicole Jones from Nicole
Hi.
Jones 911 Designs. And welcome. We are going to have a chat about mixed media and different applications. So we're excited for that. So welcome, Nicole. Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
Hi, haven't left.
Hi, Tracy. Hi, Heather. Hi, everyone.
There you go. We're asking everybody the same 3 questions. So
Okay.
the first one's the easiest one, hopefully. Where are you from in the world? Because this is a whole international group of people. So where are you
Right.
from?
I'm in Canada, New Brunswick, which is on the East Coast.
Which part of New Brunswick are you in?
Moncton.
Moncton?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I met actually someone that's part of the summit yesterday.
Yeah,
That's
Nicola.
I knew Nicola,
Oh, okay, sorry, Nicola.
but it was somebody else. Leslie, I believe her name was.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's the cool part. That's really cool to bring people together and see people and
Yeah.
do that. So that's very cool. Our second question usually is, how did you get into scrapbooking and paper making? But you're doing mixed media. So how did you get into mixed media?
I actually do scrapbooking mainly. I just like to do mixed media in my scrapbooking. So even the thing that I did for the class, it's just that you can put it on your wall. But if you would have done this on watercolor paper, then you stick it in your scrapbook album.
And that's your new granddaughter?
That's my new granddaughter. That's when she was newborn. So it's just fun to do the same application that you would do on a canvas. You can do it on watercolor paper.
So how did you get started in this then?
When I was pregnant I have 3 children. When I was pregnant for the 3rd time, I was, Aline's Creative Living. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was a long time ago. She had a show on TV and she starts showing scrapbooking. So I said to my husband, I said, if I am pregnant, if I take this pregnancy kit, whatever, and I'm pregnant, I'm starting scrapbooking. And that's how I started.
That is the most unique one I've heard.
That is different.
So if I'm going to have 3 kids, I want to document their...
Okay, so positive means positive.
Yes.
Huh?
There you go.
Yeah. So that's how I started.
Awesome. That's the most unique one I've heard so far. So that's pretty cool. We've had them from all over different things. You know, my grandmother taught me. I had a loss in the family. I saw something on TV, but not one that says, yes, this is one I'd win.
So it was funny because as soon as I got the positive, at the time, it wasn't like a lot of internet, right? So I picked up the phone and I'm calling. He thinks I'm calling my mother. No, I'm calling the place to place my subscription to get scrapbooking stuff. I meant it.
I like that.
The last question we always ask is, are you a scrapbooker or a card maker?
Scrapbooker. I used to be a card maker years ago, and I did both. And I just found, for me, scrapbooking was it for me, like just keeping my family's history, do you know?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I have a question. Actually, why don't you tell us a little bit about your project, and then I'll bring on the question that I have as well.
A little bit about the project?
Yeah, but you did, yeah.
Okay. So like I said, most of the stuff that I do is on paper, but once in a while, I like to do stuff on canvas. But you can still add paper to it, or you can make it so that it's totally decor. I could have cut like flowers, like bigger flowers or a scenery, and just made it so that it's a canvas for the wall, or a big doll, you know. I think I have some, I don't know where they are, but that I did big dolls on it, and then you can use it as a decor on your wall. But anything that you can do on the canvas, you absolutely can do it in a scrapbook page. And here I've used paints, rub-ons, stencils, inks, paste. It's just and paper, lots of paper. So I know it's hard to tell that there's paper on here, but when you do mixed media, it's not necessarily what you can see, that you see all the layers. It's that all the layers help with the overall look. So that the fact that you just can see the peeking of the pattern paper in the back just gives it that distressed look.
Mm-hmm. That's a great way of explaining it, actually, because it is, that you don't need to see everything. You're creating a picture or a depth.
Exactly. So it just gives it depth. It gives it interesting, to look at.
Yes, and I find, like, say, the first two, when you sent us the picture, I was like, okay, but then when I watched the video, I went, oh, hang on, there's a lot, to get to this,
There's a lot
the
of
final product,
layers.
right? Yeah,
It's
and I
like
went,
an
okay,
onion.
got it. Yes, yes.
It's like peeling it back. Someone wrote that they love your project. I have so many beautiful papers. I would love to hang them on the wall. I'm definitely going to have to try this. I think
Awesome.
that's kind of cool, because what you just said is neat, and the thought about it is that what you put in your scrapbook, you can turn on a canvas and put on your wall. So it doesn't.
Yes. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Or anything that you did with this, you can make a card. If
Yeah.
you're into card making, then you can just do that and make like a special card. And a lot of people hang up their cards too, right? Like they put cards on the wall
Yes.
as decor also.
Totally unrelated question, but what's on the wall behind you?
Inks.
That?
Yes.
That's a wall of ink.
Ink. Okay, I was
Ink
going to say
pads.
Tracy probably knows, but I'm like, I'm not sure what that is.
So that's all the Tim Holtz ink pads. It's just a way, as a scrapbooker, your room gets smaller and smaller. So then you start thinking of, using stuff in a vertical way.
That makes sense. We did 2 live crops, and on the first one, we asked people what was their favorite tool, and one woman said her credit card.
That's a good one.
It was a good one, because everybody's using up all these tools and that kind of thing. So that's great. Ladies who are online with us, do you have any questions, any things you want to share and say? What's this one say? I do that. I frame my cards and use them to display on shelves and something. That's a great idea, because these are, you guys put a lot of effort into creating these. It sometimes must be hard to give cards away, I would think, if you really like the ones that you finish and do.
Exactly. Because I don't think people appreciate the amount of time that goes into stuff. So then you're like, are you going to throw this out?
Yeah, I see a lot of people who'll make a card and then go, oh, I was going to make this for, so-and-so's birthday, but I did too good of a job. I'm going to keep this one and make another one for them. I find I hear that a lot.
What's neat too is that you can put a Post-it note for your greetings inside the card, and then they can use the card and kind of pass it forward.
Yes. Yep. We had a lady in one of the virtual crops as well who was talking about, she found like some that were pre-printed, right?
Right.
Saying, I can't remember the exact line.
It was a very nice verse. It had this, like, they were all pre-printed Post-its, and it had this nice verse of here's something sentimental for you, and please, and you can pass it on to someone else.
Oh, cool.
It was very, I don't know where she got them. She didn't share that, but it was very cool.
Oh, that's
neat. I don't think she could remember herself where she got them either, because she would have sold 1 million.
So, where the amount of stuff that we all have, right?
Yes. What's your favorite part of doing mixed media? Like, how do you define mixed media? Actually, I'm going to ask that question. And then what's your favorite part of doing it?
Mixed media, messy. It's, and it feels like you're a kid again, because you're getting messy with paints. And what I like the most about it, I think that's it. It's, you kind of get the permission to get messy, a lot of times we think, oh, everything has to be a certain way, and everything has to be neat and tidy. But this, you have the permission. I'm going to get messy, and then I clean it up. Just to be a kid again, right?
Yes. I think that's
the only problem is I don't have a mom that's going to clean up after me, but that's okay.
Well, we all have that one problem.
How old is your granddaughter? 5 weeks, 5 days?
She's 6 weeks old.
Okay, so you can train her. Come on. She has nothing else to do, right? Come on.
I'm sure there'll be a day she'll want to play in Grandma's studio. So
Oh, absolutely.
What type of products do you use in mixed media? So paper, and then what else do you use?
Really, mixed media, you're kind of anything that you would use on a scrapbook page, you can migrate it to mixed media. But there's gesso, and gesso is to prep your surface. Now there's clear gesso, white gesso, and you can use the gesso to kind of as glue to glue your paper. And then you need some type of thing to kind of seal everything, because not everything is permanent. So it's not that you have to use everything permanent on here, but if I stamp with an ink that's not permanent and then I put some paint over top or vice versa, it's going to smear.
Right.
But this little collage medium, if you put that in between your layers, then you're sealing everything that's under here, under this. And then it's like you start it with a new canvas every time.
Is that
So it's
glossy or
all
matte?
about the layers.
Is that glossy or matte, the sealant?
The matte.
The matte.
Collage medium matte. I like matte. I'm not big on flashy, glossy stuff, but you could use glossy.
Glossy. Cool. Someone wrote, great idea for the card makers. You can use those photo corner holders to place the sentiment in the card, which looks a little nicer than a Post-it, and still be able to change out to the next person.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
You could print them off and make your own ones too. So
exactly.
And not have the Post-it. So, hey, this is what it's all about, sharing ideas.
Exactly.
Then we have, yes, inky, messy fingers are fingers full of fun.
That's cute. Fingers full of fun. I like that line.
Yeah,
we're getting art therapy we talked about earlier with the pastel lady. Messy fingers full of fun. Being a 6-year-old, definitely an energy in that. So excellent. Do you have any other projects to show us while we're there? We're waiting for some questions.
Sure. Well, the free digital file that I gave with this, that's the flowers.
Yes.
My son actually designed those. He's an artist, and that's part of our, like, we do digital files and we're starting on physical products. So I had done a few lives on YouTube and using that one digital file, or if you print and cut it, I like to print and cut. I made, I think, 15 layouts using just this.
Oh, fun.
That's beautiful.
So that is just cardstock that I cut out with my silhouette in circles and then with the flowers all the way around. And I plan on doing a pastel one, the rainbow colors, with my granddaughter in it. But where she's only 6 weeks old, I didn't want to use the bold. And then a lot of these don't have pictures because I also did a virtual crop where I gave myself 1 hour and to see how many pages I could get done. And I got 7 done in an hour.
Sorry, on that page there, I like the idea at the bottom where you have just a little bit of the flowers showing, right?
Do you know what that is? I glued these down first.
Yeah, the leftovers.
And when I cut them, I used them on the bottom. So there was no waste.
I like that.
Smart.
Caught my eye there.
So it was just fun to, grab these and then just see how many pages, how quickly you can put a few pages together just using one package of die cut.
Cute. Excellent. Someone asked you, how do you come up with your ideas for your projects other than getting more grandchildren?
Do you know what? Like my Scrapathon 11, and actually all Scrapathon, so I have 11 Scrapathon. That's how I get a lot of my ideas, because I'll sit down and write myself challenges or prompts. And just by coming up with challenges or prompts, it just sparks the idea, because then let's say if I say like this, how to use a package die cuts and do 7 pages, the best advice I can give, it's just to go for it. The more that you think about it, it's just going to stay as an idea. But if you just do it, the first page might be a flop, but then off that page, then you get other ideas. For example, when we were doing that live, I don't know where it is. So, I'd come up with this, just a piece of 8.5 by 11 with the flowers on the side, then from that, I'm like, hey, what if we take that idea and then just, instead of just putting it on the side, we do it all the way around. And then I did a 2-page spread with it. I thought I had organized my pages, but
don't you worry. That's how we know you fit in. You're one of us, you know.
there we go. There's the other one.
I was going to say it's animals and a farm, or chickens.
Yeah.
Chickens. There you go.
Yeah. We went on vacation, and there's these places that you can stay at. They're called Harvest Hosts.
Okay.
And you basically stay on their farm for free. You just have to buy something from their store. And it's great because then my grandson got exposed to like baby cows and chickens. And this was another one that we did with that. Like I said, 15 we ended up doing. So
it's fun though. It's fun to experiment and just, I think what you just said of just challenging yourself to get out of this. This is true in everything. I'm a business coach, but get out of the boxes you put yourself in and say, just do this, right? Do this and try this and see what happens.
Just those challenges helps me. And then usually while I'm doing that page, it's like, I have to have a piece of paper next to me because I'm already thinking of, but what if we did this instead?
And sometimes that's when you discover some technique you really like.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think the biggest thing we have to realize is not every page is going to be a piece of art to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay because you learn that, one, you didn't like that particular technique, or 2, something else is going to come from it. And 3, somebody else looking at it might go, oh my gosh, that is so nice.
We are our own worst critics. I'm sure those ladies online would say the same thing. We are our own worst
critics. I don't know how many times that I'll do a page and I'm like, I'm done. And I just walk away. And the next morning I come up and I'm like, oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah. I also find, you say you've got all your die cuts, your flowers there as in your projects. And, you just like, I don't know where to put them. And then you drop something and you're like, that looks good there, right? And then it really gets you motivated. You're just like, hang on, I'm going to continue that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I have to ask how you came up with the 9/11 design name.
Yes.
I was actually worked for Ambulance New Brunswick for 14 years. So for 911.
Okay.
Thank you.
And when I went to do my YouTube channel, I tried my name, Nicole Jones, and it said, sorry, that's already taken. So I was like, oh. So I added 911. And then that kind of propelled everything. My kind of motto, helping save lives by day and memories by night, it all kind of went from there, just because YouTube wouldn't let me use my name.
I completely understand not being able to use my name. I can't use my name for anything. Heather Cameron is an extremely popular name from Scotland. So it's like, there's a singer, there's just, I can never use my name for anything. So yeah, I get that. That's a cool name though. It's a cool story. It's always neat when people have really unique stories doing that. So, and being a 911 operator is an extremely stressful job. So
yeah, I did it for 14 years. I loved my job.
It's a lot. Sorry. I have a friend who's one. It's like, yeah, I hear stories. And so good for you. But thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No, it's
any questions in our Facebook group, in our YouTube channel, any questions for Nicole? We have a Nicole, a Nicola, and a Nicole. Is that right?
Yeah, 2 Nicoles and a Nicola.
So we have been very confused. We have been it's like who's what. I was joking with Tracy when we do this game again. Everybody has to have a unique name. It's like, which Nicole are we talking about now?
Yeah,
and 2 of you are in the same city, or the same province.
And I know Nicola. Yeah.
Is her store near you, or is it?
Yes, it's about half an hour from me.
Okay. So you've been there. It sounded like a beautiful store.
Many times.
Your credit card gets used there.
Yes, I was there many times. She's a sweet, sweet girl.
Yes, she seemed really, really nice, and she had lots of stuff going on. We were talking about different ways as well. So it's very cool to bring, like Tracy worked. So, I haven't said this and I'll say this later. Tracy worked really, really hard I'm doing the back end of the tech, and it's a lot of work. But Tracy worked really hard to find unique people to bring here. So thank you, Tracy, for that.
Yes, thank you, Tracy.
Oh no, hey,
It was a lot of fun.
and I thank you for joining because, yeah.
Tracy messaged a lot of people too, so they.
Yeah, I tried, but I also tried to get a good variety. That's really
no,
what my goal was too. I want a variety.
exactly.
Yeah, even
No,
though
it's
people say,
perfect.
"Oh, I'm a card maker," it's like, yeah, you might be a card maker. I'm a scrapbooker. There's so many of us people who do all different projects or want to learn more about them and say, "Okay, I'm finally going to try the mixed media or the
Yeah.
pastels or whatever it might be." So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
try
Or
things.
someone like me that doesn't do cards, you can still take the idea of the card and move
Exactly.
it over to a scrapbook page. Like it,
Yes.
you
And
you
vice
can
versa.
Yeah, we learn about
intermix
sometimes
stuff.
the product or the technique, and yes, like you said.
Yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
Somebody
great.
has a question. Do you usually start your project with paper for the background?
Okay, for me, if you're talking like scrapbooking, I think I'm well known out there for making page kits. And what that means is I don't start with any photos. I just go through my supplies. I pick a whole bunch of pattern papers, find the ones that match what I find coordinates the best, make a stack of those, and then I add embellishments to those. And then at the end, I add my photos and then I make a page. And the reason that I do that is we all have busy lives. So I used to find that coming upstairs and I'd say, oh, I'm going to go make a page. Well, by the time you take out your papers, you take out your die cuts, you're like, oh, my time's up. I have to go do something else. But if you have page kits and you dedicate and you make like 10, the next time I come up, and I even keep them in little baggies, everything's in the baggie. Wait, I'll show you. I have one close.
It's a great idea, actually. Spend some time organizing yourself, and then you don't have to use your time doing the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep them up. I keep them in a package like this. So I have everything in here that I need to make the page.
Yeah.
So the next time I come up, if I have half an hour, I don't have to run around my room. Everything's here and I'm ready to go. Or if last minute I find out of a crop that's near me, I usually have at least 20, 30 of these sitting around my scrap room. I'll grab that and I can go to the crop. No stress. Everything's in the baggie, including, the pattern papers, the cardstock, the die cuts. And usually from what I've decided, then I can go, oh, that's a nice camping page. And then I can add camping photos.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's very cool.
It's funny because it's an excellent way. I will do that, especially if I'm going to a crop, like you said, have things ready with your pictures. And so many people are like, oh my God, that's a good idea. So it's like, just do it. Take some time. You might still not have whatever, this color ribbon or whatever it is that, something you forgot at home, but you've got the majority and you spend less time looking for it then. It takes time doing it.
How many times, though, do we come in our scrap
Do it.
room and we're like, I want to be in here, right? We all have that feeling. I want to be in my scrap room, but I don't want to do anything. So instead of organizing, because we can be big on organizing, make some page kits. You're still touching your things. You're still going through stuff, but it's doing something productive. You can put an audiobook on, you can put a movie on and get that done. And then the next time that you come up and you feel like being creative, all you need to do is grab one of those and you get a page done.
Great idea.
Very true.
Fantastic idea. When you're doing your mixed media as well, do you start with the paper in the mixed media, or how do you choose what to layer in your mixed media?
Same way. I'll decide first of all if I want to do it on canvas or on like mixed media paper, watercolor paper. And then I make a page kit like that. I find papers, even though they're kind of in the background, you still want them to coordinate. You're going to go for a color combo. And then I say, okay, I have my pattern papers. Then I choose a bunch of templates. Then I choose, this is something that, you used for your wall, it's tape for the wall.
Yeah.
So it costs like $8, but I mean, I'm going to have enough for probably the rest of my scrapbooking career, but this you can add it as texture or you can use it as a template. And then, so I just go through my stuff and say, today I feel like playing with this. Do I feel like playing with paint? Do I feel like playing with watercolors? Do I feel the Tim Holtz distress crayons? And sometimes it's a mixture of all of them.
I love the way you say that. What do I feel like playing with today?
Today. Because today, what I feel with playing with today is not the same as tomorrow.
That's
and
true.
It's the same. I always say that or a lot of times I say that when I make a page. Today, I don't like this. Tomorrow, I might totally love this. So I'm almost also famous for ripping stuff apart. I'll rip everything apart. And I said, today, it's just not my taste. And then I'll start over again. But another thing I always say, though, is if you like it, stick it. Like, stop moving it around. Just commit, stick it.
Good. I like that. If you like it, stick it.
Yeah,
I like your lines. This is good.
Tracy, we need to record. We've had some really good lines that have come out of this, and Tracy's recording them. But if you like it, stick it. I love the one of just, what do I feel like playing with today?
Yes.
That takes so much pressure off of everything. What do I feel like playing with today? What do I feel like doing?
Exactly.
Somebody asked a question about where can you buy the fabric paper? For either you or Tracy to answer, because I'm not sure what that refers to.
The fabric paper that I used in this was, I think I bought it at Walmart, and it was probably 10 years ago. I would just Google fabric paper, maybe on Amazon. That's the thing with scrapbookers, right? I think we're all a little bit of hoarders. So when we go and do stuff, it's like, where did you get that? And it's like, oh, I've had that for 20 years. And that company might not make it. But, you can take any fabric and add this stuff, the sookwang. Put that on the back of your fabric and turn the fabric into sticky fabric, right? I don't think I would go with the thick fabric. I'd probably go with thinner fabric, but that would work too. I have fabric that I do that with, right?
Cool idea. So many different ways to do things. So that's a great idea. I have tried to have a running project laying on my desk, then I don't have to think about what I'm going to work on. I only have snatches of time to do it, which I think we all do. We only have a little bit of time, so having that running project.
Exactly. Somebody asked if you could color this, and yes, the answer is yes.
Oh, you saw that one. I haven't seen that one yet. You ever tried mixed media? Your video was great, and the canvas was very pretty. This looks like a great project to do with my 5-year-old granddaughter. Awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Teach the next generation.
Exactly.
We had one woman on the crop, and I was talking to her in a room. And she's like, I have all this beautiful, she's in Ottawa, Tracy. I didn't get her name though. She says she has all this beautiful crafting supplies and her daughter doesn't do anything. And so her daughter was like, what am I going to do with this when you pass away? Which is like a morbid conversation, but still that she's like, her daughter actually wants her to write a list of where can I give this to? So it doesn't go in landfill. Okay. But it's just like, but teaching your grandkids to love it, that's a really great thing to do.
Yes, absolutely.
And not only that, I find, because she says, right, she said that she's never tried it. So to me, that might give her as well the confidence and go, oh, I can do this. Now here, you play over here, sweetie granddaughter. I'm going to do this one now for me. I think that might boost her own confidence there too.
Yes, absolutely.
I think the fabric paper is DCWV, and you can Google that.
That brand is Die Cuts with a View.
Die Cuts with a View. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what it is. I'm a crafter, but not that.
Okay.
I just didn't know if they still made it because, like I said, I bought that probably 20 years ago at Walmart, I believe.
Yeah, and like I'm thinking Scrapbooking, which is I can't think of the country, but they're in Europe, but they do deal with a lot of the stores now.
Okay.
They have some fabric, but I'm not sure if it's going to be. I just don't want to be quoted here because it may not be like the fabric paper. And I'd have to see your video again, going, oh, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But yes, it's. That's another brand that may be able to help this woman.
Because that fabric is super, super thin. Like when you take it off, it's like almost like paper thin,
Okay.
How do you store pages that get too thick as a mixed media woman? How do you do that?
I mean, I still just put it in a page protector. It just means that you get less in an album. You
Yeah.
know, like you're supposed to get 50 in an album, but if you do too many, I wouldn't put too many mixed media pages in the same album for sure, because then it would, then you'd get the alligator jaw. But then you just kind of separate them between albums. And on a page that I'm going to put in, I'm conscious of that, and I don't put like big jewelry stuff on it or anything like that. I would keep that for the outside. If you make your own little 6x6 album or 6x8 album, and you want to use the album not just to display photos inside, but the outside of the album is also part of, the display. I would put that kind of stuff, the Tim Holtz big metal stuff. I would keep that for the outside of an album more than inside. Or if you do use it inside, then minimally.
And sorry, because I said this in another video there, but I also do lay my albums flat, because that too, when you've got the weight on your pages and that, if you're standing them up, that weight can be, bringing the pages down kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I find that way too, the adhesive, everything stays longer, sticks with it, and
better.
They don't curl around as much. So
yeah, my albums are so tight together.
Okay. That's
We're probably holding each other up.
Someone said that American Crafts bought DCWV, so not many of the same types of stocks coming in.
Very true. Yeah, American Crafts buys out a lot of the companies.
Yes.
Somebody said I missed the fabric stack, so there you go.
Yeah.
But your idea of making your own with tape and finding very thin fabric is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in case people are wondering, because the Sukwang that you took out is a great tape. It's also called score tape.
Score tape, yes.
Same thing, everybody. Okay, in case you're going, I don't know what this Sukwang is, because people call it both ways. So yeah, same thing.
Yeah. Thank you. I couldn't remember the name.
I've been asked these questions a lot. It's like, yeah, same thing.
Yes.
So
somebody says, do you put pages and page protectors in your album? Yes, but, and I'm not exaggerating a little bit, I'm terrible at this. I must have 500 plus pages that are not in albums. They're just stacked. Albums are so expensive, right? So 10 albums at $40 a piece, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's why the crafter's favorite friend is their credit card. I think
yes.
And the person who doesn't like that is the one, hold the credit card back.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm buying them, here and there, and kind of filling them up. But it's also nice because the other day I was going through them, and it's like, oh yeah. I don't know. I like going through the memories and stuff. That's also fun.
Of course. That's what you made them for.
Yeah.
She's got a good idea here for you. Now you have to craft your own album covers, so you can make your own album covers.
Yes.
Tracy, that one's for you. What's the score tape also called?
Sukwang.
Sukwang.
Like SOOKWANG, because that's what it'll be written on the roll.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think I have any.
We often just say, can you get score tape for me? It's like, yes. I don't know why there's the two names, but there is.
Yes.
But it's a very good, strong tape. Holds a lot.
Yes.
I
thought I had some still in the package, but I can't find them.
I fixed like kitchen counters with it. I have fixed wooden hangers. I have them stuck together, like the ones that pant hangers. Because anyways, downstairs, it's the way I have some layouts on there. Anyways, they hold a lot. It's a great tape.
Yes, it is. Yeah. My kids always ask for it.
Yeah.
Tape that.
Someone wrote, one year I keep a tally of how much I spend on scrapping. I'm ashamed to reveal that amount.
No, don't you dare do that. I'm going to say, Miss Mamarazzi, just come and see me again. Sorry, I know her. So it's like,
keep spending now.
Yeah.
You know what? I think like spending stuff on this is so much better than spending stuff on stuff that doesn't last. Right?
Yeah.
You know, consuming alcohol, going out to dinners, all these things that eat up more money than what you guys spend on scrapbooking. You know, and because Tracy, when she goes off to a crop and you get together with people and you're having a great time, that's money well spent.
Yeah.
Even if you never finish your project.
I used to be a smoker like 40 years ago. And I said, I just changed my habit.
Yeah.
I just took the money I saved there and then this
And
is
I'm
way
not
healthier.
even clapping because of scrapbooking. I'm just clapping because you've stopped that other habit, right? Because good for you. Keep going on that.
Yeah.
But the money that we spend, you know, I mean, a lot of people saw that when they were locked in home and I got more money in my bank because I'm not spending money on stuff that we really don't think about. So spending money on a passion like this, I think, is an awesome way to be healthy, because we've been talking a lot about the therapeutic nature of crafting, whether it's scrapbooking or mixed media, or I'm a color pencil drawer or knitting or whatever. There's such a therapeutic win for it that it's money well spent. My mother was a quilter and she had tons of quilting material everywhere. So,
and I also find that with any of these crafts that you've mentioned there, Heather, I mean, we're doing this often for other people, or in the scrapbooking world, for memories, for cards. You're giving a card out. For knitting, you might be knitting yourself a scarf, but trust me, the moment you have a baby or, you know, a grandchild, boom, they get the new sweater, slippers, whatever it is. So you know,
and most of us do more than one thing too.
Yep.
Like we have more than one crafty outlet, I guess.
Yes.
There's the spelling of the tape if someone's looking for the actual spelling. I know Tracy spelled it out loud, but that was fast.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I can't type in there right now. So.
That's something. Thank you for sharing that one, does it? Yeah. But yeah, I used to do ceramics and, you know, I gave them all away. I actually have none of my own. So it was like, I should have some of that stuff. So
yeah, me too.
It's nice to keep. Whoops. Sorry, that was my dog sneezing in the background.
Bella
had a sneeze there. Yeah. Just like waking up and saying, okay, what's going on? Any other questions? It's been a great conversation, and you should definitely, I know that Nicole said that her website's having some issues right now. So if you're checking out her website, it might not work, but that's just technology issues for anybody who's been making comments in the Facebook group. We are doing our best. Everything is there. So we've had a lot of comments about the freebies. The freebies, not the VIP bonuses. So there's two different things. There's free gifts that our speakers have generously offered. And we did something different than a lot of other summits, is your gifts are available for the whole time so that they can get exposure to as many people. They're all on the Meet the Speaker page. All the ones that we have, if there's none there, that's just the situation. All of the ones that we have are there, and you have until tomorrow to download them. So make sure you go check them out. And then if you're in the VIP, there are VIP bonuses. Nicole has a wonderful thing in the VIP bonuses. So there's things for the VIPs. Those are on a separate website completely. They're in our VIP area. So if you are a VIP, go into the area and claim them, because some of them are time sensitive. So make sure you get them. I don't remember which ones are, but some of them are coupons and discounts, or there's something that's happening. So they are time sensitive. So make sure as VIPs that you check it out, because they're being very generous with these offers, and just make sure that you do check them out. Thank you so much for sharing this craft with us. Mixed media doesn't seem so intimidating now.
Oh, cool.
Try it. Have fun.
Have fun. That's the main thing, is to have fun.
Yeah. Play. I love that. What do I feel like playing with today? I think that's such a great way to kind of enter your space and say, you know, it's even good for my business clients, by the way. What do I feel like playing with today? Right? Because we get in the way of ourselves doing things in our businesses as well.
Yeah.
Yes. So the Altenew gift, there has been some confusion in there. Tracy's going to reach out to them, but it is the weekend. So she's going to reach out them on Monday and clear up the confusion. We were not aware of what was said at the end of the video. So we are doing our best, but they are sleeping wherever they're not working on the weekend. So we will reach out on Monday with that one to clear that one up. We did not know that they said something at the end of the video. So that's what we have to work out. So we will work on that, whoever asked the question. It will be fun trying something new. Yes, it will be fun trying something new. So thank you so much, Nicole, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Your passion. You can tell your passion for what you do. So, and congratulations on the new granddaughter.
Thank you.
Who's downstairs waiting for you to cuddle her, I'm sure. Thank you so much. And we will be back at 3 o'clock?
Oh, 3, yes.
3 o'clock with Debbie.
Debbie J.
With
Debbie
Debbie
J.
J.
Well, as she goes by, yes.
We'll be back with Debbie J at 3 o'clock, and then we have Tracy from Australia at 5:30 and Miss Carrie at 6:45.
Yes.
And I just want to say thank you to you girls for doing such a great job. This was a great summit.
Thank you. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thanks for the feedback. It's nice on those days when you're working really hard. It's so good to hear the feedback. So,
You did a
thank
great
you
job.
so much, and we'll see you guys later this afternoon. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.